Just 4 days left for the final presidential runoff. The battle for who will lead France is heating up. In the latest, senior political allies have warned that incumbent President Emmanuel Macron is not certain to win, despite polls indicating his lead over his far-right challenger Marine Le Pen. As of now, Macron's projected a lead for Sunday's decisive second-round vote, with 3 polls for the second-round runoff placing Macron at the highest level, with an average score of 55.83%, further suggesting that the gap has widened from 8 to 12 points since Friday. However, despite this, French Prime Minister Jean Castex has asserted that it is too early to claim victory. In a statement on France Inter Radio, he said that the game is not done and dusted yet, further emphasizing on how Parisians still need to be convinced with how Macron's programs are the best for France. Echoing similar concerns, Castex's immediate predecessor, Edouard Philippe, also said that nothing should be taken for granted, hinting at a possible low turnout during Sunday's presidential runoff. Not only this, incumbent President Emmanuel Macron had also himself made it clear on Monday that he does not consider the election won already. But before Sunday's runoff, Macron and Le Pen will face off in a televised debate that is scheduled to take place today and will determine the future of France. And now for more updates on this, we are being joined by our correspondent Ross Cullen, live from Paris. Thank you so much for joining us. The contenders are all set for the highly anticipated televised debate. Macron, as I mentioned, has projected a lead for the second round vote. We've also seen the gap between him and Le Pen widen. What are you able to gauge as of now? What is the general consensus?
Yeah, the consensus is that Emmanuel Macron does have a lead in these polls heading into the second round, that crucial presidential runoff vote, which is going to take place on Sunday, 2 weeks after the first round, in which he was also leading the polls. That first round saw Marine Le Pen and Emmanuel Macron emerge as the two candidates who would go through to this final runoff race. And as is traditional, in the 2-week period between the first and second round, there is a TV debate, live head-to-head, which will be taking place at 9 p.m. local time here in France, where we will see Emmanuel Macron and Marine Le Pen, just as they did in 2017, go face-to-face to try to take apart each other's arguments, try to break down their own policies, promote their own project, their own vision, while also trying to illustrate to the French people that their opponents' policies are not fit for France.
Absolutely. Now, Ross, also there have been concerns regarding low voter turnout. What are the expectations on that front? Do you think the two have been able to address concerns of the people enough to compel them?
Yeah, one of the main issues for both of the candidates is how to convince people to vote for them who did not vote for them in the first round. We had 12 candidates going in the first round, and there will be people who voted for 10 of the defeated candidates, not Emmanuel Macron and not Marine Le Pen. So both of them have been trying to broaden their appeal. Macron has been trying to show that he does have green policies of the type that might appeal to Jean-Luc Mélenchon, the far-left leader who came third, just missing out on advancing to that second round runoff. Marine Le Pen has been trying to show that she also wants to create a broad church, a big tent of people coming to flock to her to create what she says is a barrier to block Emmanuel Macron's path to re-election. So among those voters from Jean-Luc Mélenchon, it's interesting that he did his own survey a few days ago of people who voted for him, and roughly a third of them said that they would not vote. A third of them said that they would vote, but they would mark their ballot void, and that a third were minded to vote, and probably of those third who would vote for a candidate, they would be casting a ballot for Emmanuel Macron.
All right. Ross, thank you so much for joining us with all the updates on this. Also joining us live from Paris is political analyst Mohammed Abdel Azim. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, what are your expectations with regards to the outcome of these elections? We have seen the gap between the two widen as well.
Yeah, just remembering what happened between generally, traditionally, the French people is making the vote decision in between the two around the first one and second one. Today's debate will help the hesitating voters to go for one or another of those candidates. Knowing that now Macron do have an advance on Marine Le Pen, and he is widening the gap for score. Now French people are waiting the debate today to see three main items, main questions. The first one is security. The second is retirement and economy from Macron, who have to promise a clear program for the next 5 years. For the time being, Marine Le Pen is losing and decreasing the scores, means that the voters became conscious about the importance of the vote. We might have even a more big score between the two candidates. Macron, from the time being, from now on, he is the next president maybe, because he still have the Ukrainian crisis, and the rationality of French people will give Macron the possibility to continue. The only thing could happen is a miracle for Marine Le Pen today, or a big and enormous event that could change the opinion and the public opinion in France. But Macron is going to be on the track to win the next election vote.
All right. Mr. Azam, thank you so much for joining us with your analysis of this. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.